I wasn't supposed to be working that late, especially not in a building like that. The kind of luxury high-rise where even the air smells expensive and the silence feels like it has rules. It was 11:47 p.m. when my phone buzzed with the emergency request. Balcony door won't close. Wind is forcing it open. Please help. Urgent. The address made me pause. Penthouse level. Ocean View Towers. I almost ignored it. Midnight repair jobs usually meant trouble. But I needed the money. Being a single dad didn't leave room for pride. Or comfort. Or sleep. So I packed my tools, kissed my daughter on her forehead as she slept, and told myself it would be quick. Fix the door. Get paid. Go home. That's all. Nothing dramatic. Nothing complicated. Just a job. But the moment I stepped out of the elevator onto the top floor, I felt it. That strange quiet. Not the peaceful kind. The watching kind. Her door was already slightly open when I knocked. Wind howled from inside, pushing against the hallway. I could see sheer curtains flying wildly through the crack. Then she appeared. Barefoot. Hair slightly messy like she had been running her fingers through it for hours. She looked at me like she had been waiting for something more than just a repairman. You're here, she said softly. Not relieved. Not surprised. Just certain. I nodded and stepped inside. The apartment was breathtaking. Floor-to-ceiling glass. City lights glittering beneath us like fallen stars. But the balcony door was the problem. It kept sliding open because the latch mechanism had broken. The wind was violent that night, slamming it back and forth. Dangerous. I crouched down to inspect it while she stood close behind me. Too close. I could feel her presence. Not inappropriate. Just intense. Can you fix it? She asked. Her voice wasn't panicked. It was layered. Like the question meant more than wood and glass. It'll take about 20 minutes, I said. She didn't move away. The wind roared again, and the balcony door slammed hard against the wall. I grabbed it just in time before the glass cracked. She gasped and stepped closer instinctively, her hand briefly gripping my arm. Her touch lingered a second too long. Careful, she whispered. I worked in silence, focusing on the damaged roller track and broken latch. But something felt off. There were no signs of forced damage. No accident marks. It was almost as if someone had deliberately loosened it. I didn't ask questions. It wasn't my place. But my instincts rarely lied. After about 15 minutes, I finally realigned the track and installed a temporary reinforced latch from my emergency kit. It would hold through the storm. I stood up and slid the door shut firmly. The wind stopped screaming into the room. The apartment went still. Almost too still. There, I said. It's secure now. She walked past me and gently pulled the curtains closed. The city lights disappeared. The room became dim, lit only by a single warm lamp near the couch. Then she did something unexpected. She turned the lock. Not just on the balcony door. On the main apartment door. The clicking sound echoed louder than it should have. I felt it in my spine. She leaned back against the door slowly and looked at me. Her breathing was steady. Her expression unreadable. Don't leave yet, she whispered. The words weren't seductive. They were vulnerable. I didn't move. Is there another issue? I asked carefully. She shook her head. Then why lock the door? Her eyes softened, and for the first time, I saw it. Not manipulation. Not danger. Fear. Deep, buried fear. I just needed someone to stay, she said quietly. Just for a little while. The storm outside thundered violently against the glass walls, lightning flashing across her face. She wasn't afraid of the wind. She was afraid of something else. Or someone else. I glanced at the clock. 12:26 a.m. I charged by the hour. I tried to lighten the tension. She almost smiled. Almost. "I'll pay you for the whole night," she replied. That's when my guard went up. "I'm not that kind of service," I said firmly. Her eyes widened, almost offended. "That's not what I meant." Silence stretched between us. Then she walked slowly to the kitchen and poured 2 glasses of water, not wine. Not anything dramatic. Just water. She handed one to me with slightly trembling fingers. "I don't feel safe tonight," she admitted. There it was. The truth. I set my toolbox down but didn't relax. "Why?" She hesitated. "Because someone has been trying to get into my apartment for weeks." The air shifted. "And you called building security?" I asked. "They think I'm paranoid." "And are you?" She didn't answer. Instead, she walked toward the balcony door I had just repaired and stared at it. It only malfunctions on nights like this. When the wind is loud enough to cover other sounds. My mind replayed the latch I had inspected. Deliberately loosened. "Have you told the police?" "Yes," she said. They found nothing. Another flash of lightning illuminated the glass. Then we both heard it. A faint metallic scrape. From outside. Not from the balcony. From the hallway. Her body stiffened. The scrape came again. Slow. Testing. My instincts locked in. I walked quietly toward the door and pressed my ear against it. Nothing for a few seconds. Then. A soft rattling of the handle. Someone was checking if it was unlocked. Her breath hitched. I motioned for her to stay quiet. The handle moved again. This time harder. Then it stopped. Footsteps retreated down the hallway. Silence. Real silence. Not storm silence. The kind that leaves questions hanging. I stepped back slowly. She looked like she might collapse. "See," she whispered. My jaw tightened. "Do you know who it is?" She swallowed. "My ex-husband." That changed everything. "He's not supposed to be near this building," she continued. "There's a restraining order. And security doesn't see him. He knows how to avoid cameras." The pieces started. Aligning. The broken latch. The timing. The psychological intimidation. He wanted her scared. Isolated. Doubting herself. I checked my phone battery. 48%. I made a decision. "I'm staying until morning," I said calmly. Relief flooded her face so intensely it almost hurt to watch. "Thank you," she whispered again. But I didn't stay because she was beautiful. Or because she offered money. I stayed because I knew what it felt like to be afraid in your own home. Years ago, I couldn't protect someone I loved. Tonight, I wasn't going to walk away. The storm raged on outside as we sat in silence, listening carefully for any sound. Every creak of the building felt suspicious. Every elevator ding made her flinch. At 1:12 a.m., the power flickered. At 1:14 a.m., it went out. Complete darkness. She gasped and instinctively grabbed my arm. Emergency backup lights dimly lit the hallway outside, casting eerie shadows through the bottom crack of the door. Then. 3 slow knocks. Not frantic. Not loud. Just controlled. Measured. Deliberate. Her fingers dug into my sleeve. Another 3 knocks. I stepped forward and spoke firmly without opening it. Leave. Silence. Then a male voice through the door. Low. Come. I know you're in there. Her entire body froze. The voice continued, you can't hide forever. I felt her shaking now. The voice moved closer to the door. And you've got company tonight. My heart stopped for half a second. He knew. How? Then I saw it. A faint red dot through the gap of the curtain near the window. Laser pointer. From another building. Watching. Monitoring. My blood ran cold. This wasn't random intimidation. This was planned. Careful. Obsessive. And dangerous. I slowly pulled her away from the door and toward the interior wall. Call the police, I whispered. She nodded, but her hands were trembling too hard to dial. The voice outside chuckled softly. I'll wait. The elevator dinged at the end of the hall. Footsteps approached. He walked away. The red laser dot disappeared. And that's when I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just about her. He wanted me to hear. He wanted me involved. The storm outside masked his movements. The broken latch was a test. And tonight, he escalated. I looked at her, still shaking. Has he ever hurt you physically? She nodded once. That was enough. Because this wasn't just a midnight repair job anymore. This was a line drawn. And someone had just crossed it. But what he didn't know was that I wasn't just a repairman. And if he thought I was walking out of that apartment scared, he was about to make the biggest mistake of his life.